What's going on today, everybody, my fish keeping friends? We are back in the fish room and we are scaping our Bolivian Ram tank as well as our trout goodian tank. Even though the trout goodians are going to get kicked out at some point and get in our 125 monster planet tank. But this is more for the Bolivian Rams. We're going to get a nice scape for them. You guys, I'm going to take you guys along with me. The full scape of what we're doing. Now, I'm gonna go over a substrate, plain and simple, easy, a layer of pea pebbles, and then sand covering the pea pebbles. No fertilizers, no nothing in the bottom. If anything, if we wanna add like swords or anything that uses like a lot of nutrients from the soil, or cryps, they have a really big root system. They like a little bit of fertilizer in the substrate. We will add some root tabs from API down in the substrate, and that works perfect. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and pull the rocks out and pull this hunk of wood out because I'm thinking a little more, not so chunky, not so much chunk wood. As you can see how the wood's more chunky, it's literally just like a block of wood and then just like a teeny little cave for them. We're going a little more spindly, and we're also gonna use the rocks. We're gonna get rid of that hunk of wood because I want it just a little more character. I think the more clunky would be like maybe for our skunk cories or our angelfish. I don't know, we'll see. We could throw that in literally anything. But yeah, I'm thinking more spindly for the Bolivian Rams. So let's pull this structure out that we got in here and have a clean slate. And then we'll go get some wood. We'll see how she's looking. And we're also gonna leave the guppy grass in here as well. And then if it gets in our way, we'll just grab it out of there. So there's nothing to worry about. Actually, let's go ahead and grab that guppy grass out now. Throw it in our angel tank for now. Try and catch out all these scragglers here. We are stirring her up a little bit, but that's gonna be a-okay, because at the end of all of this, we're gonna get the filter clean, and I'm gonna show you the end result of it crystal clear. Now, let's go grab some wood. Like I said, our pieces of wood are sunk in our stock tank out here. Well, most of the pieces, and don't worry about the Stanley cup. Kid keeps throwing it in there. I don't know why, but yeah. So we're looking for some spindlier. Ooh, this is actually a nice piece here. Look at that guy. Look at that guy there. That kind of looks like a duck. What the heck? All right, we're gonna take our duck, just hang him on the edge, and well, maybe this piece that's floating here actually. Yeah, that's nice actually. Let's grab those two. Grab these two pieces, yeah. We'll see if they are cohesive in the old tank. Now, the nice part with 40-gallon breeders is you don't need as big of pieces of wood or structure or anything to get the same effect as if you did like a 125. This thing is kind of like an arch. But it is gonna try and float on us, so we're gonna pin it down with this rock here. That is like a perfect arch. An absolute beautiful arch, good for it. Now with our duck head, that literally looks like a duck. I don't even know how this wants to go in, to be honest. Look at that, it's just gonna hook right there. Now if we can just get it to tie right there, that'd be beautiful. What are the odds it ties right there though? Let me go grab one more piece of wood and see if we can get that to tie in together. This guy right here has got some decent character to her. Let's see if we can't get this to work how I want it to. Oh, she's got some good color too. Tie in there. Oof. Now if I can cover this girl up a little bit here. Move some of the sand onto her. Ooh, I like that. That gives it nice height, and it's like a perfect arch, and then we do still have the rocks that we need to add as well. Simple, keep it simple, stupid, I promise. I know there's a whole bunch of guys that like to really get crazy with the scapings, but hey man, if you're on a budget, baller on a budget here. We can make it look good with minimal stuff. Let's see if we want to, what are we thinking with these rocks? I don't know. I think kind of just in the front. Just kind of lock it in. Keep it smooth. Oh, don't be flip. Hey, easy, easy, easy. Let's lock this piece of wood in here a little bit. I'm kind of thinking, I like that circle rock there, but just to kind of, yeah, seal that in there. Move some of the sand over here. Kind of make it look like it's been there a while, you know? I'm gonna bury you just a little bit, nothing too bad. Now, like I said, keep it simple. We're just gonna do a simple little scape here, nothing too crazy, but we're going to be adding plenty of plants to kind of tie it all together. All right, so you got your main structure. You like how it's nice, simple, nothing too crazy. Nice main structure, looking good. Now the big thing is you can add big plants on your corners the best you can, or we can go for more of a carpet effect with the same thing we used in our guppy grass. See that pearlweed already growing like crazy? We don't even need to steal it from here because remember when I trimmed that way back down? Look at how tall it's already gotten. Like I can cut that whole top and scatter it all along the bottom of here, and it will slowly work its way as a carpeting effect in the tank. We also have some Java moss that I'm thinking if we can wrap it or like somehow get it started on this wood, we could just follow this moss all the way around the wood and have an entire moss arch. I think that would look pretty good. It would also like secure the wood to itself as well. That's like a win-win, really. So I'm just going to walk around the fish room and pick a whole bunch of plants that need trimmed anyway and toss them in this bad boy. Now, here's what I'm thinking. Pearlweed, of course. We're definitely stealing some pearlweed. There's plenty of Java moss in here. I don't love the hair algae in here. We might have to dose this tank because the hair algae goes crazy in this tank, as well as the guppy grass. I don't know if you can tell. But I'm not seeing any cryps that we can really steal. There's some corkscrew val in the back that we could get after. There's some nice cryps doing pretty well here. I like that crypt because it's kind of by itself, real small. I think that's a crypt that's not doing good either. And then there might be another crypt way in the back there that's also not doing great, because the light's coming straight down here and it's not really getting over there. We're definitely going to steal some dwarf sage because, I mean, look at that stuff. That whole entire tank is full of it. So it's not going to mind a little clipping. Not a clipping, but we'll rip the roots out. I'll show you guys how to do it. Or we could do some jungle val. The whole back of this is full of jungle val. I could also steal the crypts out of here because they're not doing well either. That crypt not doing great. I don't know if the rainbows or something is eating that stuff down or what, but That stuff was doing really good in there. And I think that might be it. I think we're gonna be looking pretty good with all that. Let's get that stuff pulled out of the tanks and thrown in this tank and see how it looks. All right, I think we got a decent amount of plants now, at least for in here, for a good start. The only thing we haven't grabbed yet is Java moss, and I'm working on that currently in my head. I just don't know where I want to grab it without getting hair algae in here. So we got our dwarf sage, and look at the roots on those guys. And we have some pearlweed, nice pearlweed here. And then some corkscrew val that was growing in front of the pearlweed. And then some cryps that don't look like they're doing great, but they have very good roots. So I think they will do very well in here, as long as the fish leave them alone. So let's start with our dwarf sage. There's a nice big hunk there. Put this girl front and center here. Beautiful. We'll get all the dwarf sage where we want it, and then we'll move on to the next one. All right, let's toss in our lonely 2 little sprigs of corkscrew val. Put these guys in the back because they can get long. I kind of put it behind the rock for you guys so you can't really see it, but we got those planted. Now let's throw some pearlweed in, baby. Last but not least, our teeny itty bitty little cryps that hopefully get bigger. Put these guys kind of in the back. You guys aren't going to be able to really see them, but once they get nice and big, they'll look gorgeous back there, because they'll grow out like this big. It'll be huge. Be awesome. We'll put them one on each side. This guy will kind of just be behind here. You know you're doing it right when your sleeves are all wet. That's when you know you're doing it right. Now, last but not least, a giant ball of Java moss. Now I think it's probably best to do 2 different sprigs. One, we'll throw down in here, kind of sandwich it in between the wood. We might be able to split it up into 3 chunks. Put another one right on in here. Trying not to knock over our deal here. Beautiful. Now, let's see if we can't nuzzle this guy right on in here. Perfect. That kind of ties it all together, really. It kind of gets some green up there, kind of draws your eye up top, and kind of draws your eye everywhere in the tank now. Now, I would call that a very successful aquascaping for our Bolivian Rams. A nice, simple, yet elegant aquascape. We didn't go too crazy. I mean, everybody's loving it. Look at this male trout goodie. Look at him. All colored up, looking good. Bolivian Rams are already scoping everything out. Look at them getting in there. Now, as long as the trout don't destroy all of our plants, we should be looking a-okay. Let's try and feed them now. We'll just see if they're hungry. And now, I like to feed them a mixture of flake and pellets. If I could find my flake. So I usually start with a little bit of flake. And I like to just dip it in the water to get it in the water column there. And then, after that feeding frenzy, I like to put a little bit of pellet down in there for the Bolivian Rams, because these guys are absolutely psycho. It's a little bit of pellet. Nothing too crazy. I guess the trout will go after that too, huh? Those savages go after everything. So yeah, I would say they are liking the tank quite a lot. Now, as long as those trout goodians don't destroy any of my plants, they can stay in there a little bit longer than I planned. But if they start going haywire in there, you bet your butt those monsters are getting pulled out of here, moved over to the stock tank on the other side of this wall, and those goodians are going into that 125. But yeah, that's the aquascape. I do have one other thing if you guys stayed this long for the video. I currently have some t-shirts that I made, and if you guys are interested, DM me on Instagram. I'll show you what it looks like. DM me on Instagram at MK Fishing Farm. Find me on Instagram, DM me. If you guys are interested in a shirt, I'll show you it. Here's what the back looks like. An awesome, colorful betta fish. And then the front is just a straight up MK Fishing Farm. If you guys are interested, it's $20. $20 a shirt. We don't have small, but we have medium, large, extra large, and double XL. So yeah, if you guys are interested, like I said, DM me on Instagram or get a hold of me somehow. But Instagram's the best spot. DM me and we'll get you shipped a t-shirt, $20. You guys are interested. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed the fish, if you guys enjoyed the aquascape of our Bolivian Rams, smash that like button. And hey, if you guys have watched this far, like, subscribe, turn on those bell notifications, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.